Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media giving you what is probably going to be the final board game playthrough of 2020. This time I will be playing Cthulhu, well, I should say Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. I always get that name mixed up for some reason. Because I thought what better way to usher in the end of 2020 than by maybe destroying the whole fucking world with the rise of the great old ones, because, you know, something positive, a little uplifting note just to go out at the end of the year. Now, before I get into all of the regular stuff that I do at the end of these intros, I just want to let you all know that I do have one final video coming on New Year's Eve is when I will try and get that put up. It's just a little something special for you that I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks now, and then finally just decided, well, what the fuck, might as well just go ahead and do it. So keep an eye out for that if you want to see what's been going down in Funky Town, as they say. Well, nobody actually says that, but once again, it's the end of 2020, so fuck it, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Okay. Let's do the gratuitous beer drinking, I guess. Not going to chug this one, so don't, you know, sit there screaming at the computer. I'm just going to talk to you while I drink it. So subscribe, hit the button down below if you haven't already. Join the other 25 subscribers that we have. Maybe get the word out to some of your friends, some of your enemies. If you really hate someone, send them to this channel, please. Follow Plaguelands Media on Facebook. Follow us at our website, www.plaguelandsmedia.com. Check out our stuff on Amazon in the Kindle store. We have quite a few books up there, some kids books, a comic book, a collection of short stories. Check out Plaguelands Media on Amazon, or Ian Van Gamut or Hugh Newton. You can follow Ian Van Gamut on Instagram. You can follow Darth Mutt on Redbubble. There is some fantastic merchandise for sale. Look how much of this I've drunk. This is a fucking pissy effort today, but you know what? Whatever. Some of you might recognize the beer from the colour. It's not my usual deep, rich Soul Forest craft beer that I drink. This is a South Korean Cass. A lot of people don't give Cass enough credit. I think it's quite a nice, refreshing beer. So if people who work at Cass are watching, you can throw some merchandise my way. Gratuitous plug there. Okay, so without further ado, let's get this fucking shit to the table and hope that I don't destroy the world. Okay, this is Cthulhu, or Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. Now, what I'm going to do is quickly go over how to set up the board. I already have my great old ones at the top of the board here. My three characters down here. I will be playing today as the Hunter, who can remove all Cthulhu or all cultists during a defeat a cult action instead of just one, and it only takes one action to defeat a Shoggoth instead of 3. The Detective, who needs only 4 cards of the same colour to seal a gate instead of 5, and the Magician, who starts the game with an unused relic, has a hand limit of 8 instead of 7, and I can give or take a relic card as a free action. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly give him his relic, shuffle the unused relics up, and he will get Song of Kadath. This is really great for healing sanity, and it doesn't cost any sanity to use. Next, I'm going to populate the board with cultists and shoggoths. So we'll shuffle these up. We have the board divided into 4 of the classic H.P. Lovecraft cities. We have Arkham, Dunwich, Innsmouth, and of course Kingsport down here. Okay, so the graveyard and the boardwalk are each going to get 3 cultists. The boardwalk is over here in Innsmouth, and the graveyard down here in Dunwich. Put those on the discard pile. Okay, 1, 2. The woods and the theatre in Kingsport are each going to get 2 cultists. The woods and the theatre, that is not good. Kingsport is getting filled up. The Historic Inn and the Pawn Shop will each get 1 cultist. The Historic Inn down here and the Pawn Shop there. And finally, the train station gets a shoggoth, which is great because that is exactly where we are. And then these I will set aside at the top. So let's have a look at what clue cards our characters have. The Hunter has an Arkham, an Innsmouth, and an Elder sign. This is awesome. If we can seal a gate and get this Elder sign down, every time we flip over a card to see where a cultist spawns, if it spawns in a town with the Elder sign, then nothing happens. They don't go on the board. Not bad. The Detective is going to have 2 Arkhams and a Dunwich. Okay, this we can work with. The Magician is going to have Innsmouth, a Chaos Mirror, Innsmouth, and of course the Song of Kadath. Chaos Mirror, you can swap 1 clue from your hand with a clue in another player's hand regardless of where they are. That might be very handy if we're in need of clues pretty quickly. Okay, there are ways we can lose this game. If there are all the great old ones at the top here have awakened, we lose. If there are 3 of these shoggoths on the board and we need to put another one down, we lose. If there are all the cultists from the supply are on the board, we lose. And if all of our investigators go insane, we lose. They each have 4 sanity at the moment. Okay, there are a number of actions we can do. We can do a walk action, which is just moving from one space to one space. We can take a bus if we are on one of the bus spaces. If we discard a clue card at the bus station, we can move to any location in that town. If the clue card matches our current town, then anywhere on the board. We can use a gate. We can move from one gate to another. There's a gate in the park, the old mill, the graveyard, and the hospital. That actually requires a sanity roll, so we could lose some sanity if we do that. Give or take 1 card, defeat a cultist, defeat a shoggoth, which takes 3 actions, and seal a gate where we discard 5 clues of the same colour. In the detective's case, he only needs 4. So, first action. Hunter is going to use 1 action to defeat the shoggoth that handily came into our space. She's going to use her second action to give her Arkham card to the detective. He now has 3 Arkham cards, 1 more, and he will be able to seal the Arkham gate. She's going to use her third action to give her Innsmouth card to the Magician. The Magician can start heading over to Innsmouth, I think. And she's going to move down to the cafe in Dunwich. That is her turn gone. First thing we do, we draw 2 more clues for her. And we get a Kingsport and Dunwich. Then we have to spawn 2 cultists. One spawns at the Great Hall, and one spawns at the docks. And that is her turn over. The detective, he is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to walk around Arkham for a little bit. Nothing special with him. Gets his clue cards. Please, please, please be an Arkham. Our first card is a Dunwich, and our second card is Kingsport. So he now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Remember, they can hold a maximum of 7, except for the Magician. Now he has to see where the cultists go. There's a cultist at the diner, of course, getting some lunch. And there is a cultist at the hospital, maybe after eating the lunch at the diner. Cultist had to go to the hospital. Okay, that is the detective's turn. The Magician. 1, 2, 3, and 4 coming over to the diner. Nothing special. Again, pretty boring turns, but all of the cultists seem to be over here. He draws 2 clue cards. First clue card is Innsmouth. Fantastic. Second clue card is Kingsport. So he has 4 Innsmouth cards. 1 more, and he will be able to move to Innsmouth and seal the gate. We get a cultist at the Secret Lodge, and we get a cultist at the swamp. We need to start clearing up some cultists. We are quickly running out, but that is okay. So back to the Hunter. The Hunter has a Kingsport and a Dunwich card, but I'm going to move her 1, 2 to the inn. Historic Inn. I'm going to discard a Dunwich card to go anywhere on the board for 3. She's going to come down here to the graveyard, and for 4 she is going to wipe out all of those cultists, putting them back in the supply, giving us a little bit of breathing room. I'm a little bit worried the Evil Stirs card is coming up. So her first clue card is Innsmouth. This is perfect. Her second clue card is another Innsmouth. Okay. I'm going to have the Magician use Zhao's Mirror. You can use them on any player's turn. Swap 1 clue card from your hand with a clue card in another player's hand. So I'm going to swap my Kingsport for one of the Hunter's Innsmouth clue cards. And because I used a relic, I have to roll, and he will lose 1 sanity for using that relic. So the Magician goes from 4 down to 3. Okay. 2, 3. He has only 3 Arkham, so let's go clean up Arkham a little bit. The detective is going to move 1, 2, 3, and 4 to take out those cultists. Draws 2 clue cards. Gets a Kingsport. Okay. And an Arkham. Fantastic. But I think he is over his hand limits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So let's get rid of a Kingsport. Clue. Okay, and where do the cultists spawn? One at the old mill. Where the gate is, and one at the market in Kingsport. Okay. The magician is going to go 1, 2, 3 to the hospital, and with his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Innsmouth clues, he's going to seal that hospital gate. And why not? The hunter is going to pick a town. If a gate has been sealed, no new cultist or shoggoth may be placed in that town. As a reminder, flip the seal token to the elder sign. So, we're going to use that. We're going to flip this sealed token here over to its elder sign. And now, if we draw purple to place cultists, no more cultists can be placed there, but the hunter used a relic, so she loses 1 sanity from the dice. That's okay. Magician draws 2 more clues. There's got to be the evil stirs coming soon, and there we go. Okay, so basically we just do what it says. Number 1, fight the madness, roll the sanity die. He loses another sanity. Number 2 is awakening, reveal the next old one. And we have, ooh, Yig. Sealing gates requires 1 additional clue card from a connected town. So that sucks big time. A Shoggoth appears. We draw 1 card from the bottom of the summoning deck, and we get a Shoggoth in the junkyard, but we don't because we put the elder sign there, so that was very fortuitous. And then we just shuffle the summoning deck and put it back on top, and this card is removed from the game. So this is the discard pile of the summoning deck. We give it a shuffle like so. And then we'll put that back. Whoops. Slide you in the middle there and give you another quick shuffle. Okay. And that goes back on top of this summoning deck. Okay, sealing gates requires 1 additional clue card from a connected town. Oh, that really sucks. But we do get our second clue card, which is Alhazred's Flame. You may remove up to 4 cultists or 1 Shoggoth from anywhere on the board. Okay, not bad. I'm not going to use that yet, but that's okay. Okay, next up is the Hunter. The Hunter is in Kingsport at the moment. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and we'll defeat these 2 cultists at the woods. I think he's at the theatre actually. Yeah, fairly simple turn. She gets 2 clue cards, which are Arkham and Arkham. Okay. She now has 1 Innsmouth, 2 Kingsport, 2 Arkham. And we get a cultist at the market and a cultist at the secret lodge. Now, the detective could have closed the Arkham gate this turn, but because of Yig, we need at least one more Arkham clue. So we're going to move 1, defeat that cultist, 2, 3, 4 to the park, and let's just hope we get an Arkham clue. We get an Innsmouth and an Innsmouth, both absolutely useless to us. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are going to discard both the Innsmouth cards because Innsmouth is pretty much sealed off. Where do the cultists appear? One of them in the woods with the hunter, and the second one at the theatre, which is down here. Okay, the hunter's going to go and do some cleaning up next turn. The magician. I'm going to use Alhazred's Flame. I know it's a little presumptuous. I'm going to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4 cultists out of Kingsport, I think, just to keep it a little bit clear. Have to roll the sanity dice. There's a very good chance I could go insane here. I only lose 1. That's okay. And I'm going to use the Song of Kadath. No sanity rolls required to use this card. All players regain 1 sanity, or 1 player regains full sanity. I'm going to choose myself to regain full sanity, putting me from 1 back up to 4. Okay, those were using relics. They count as free turns. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 back into Arkham, just in case I draw an Arkham clue card this turn. Draw 2 clues, and I get a Dunwich and a Dunwich. Okay, I can work with that. Diner, we get a cultist, and a cultist appears at the Great Hall down in Kingsport. It is the hunter's turn. I know what I'm going to do with the hunter. I'm going to move 1 to the market. I'm going to discard a Kingsport clue to move anywhere on the board. I'm going to move to the park. That's 2 actions. 3, I'm going to give my Arkham clue to the detective. That's 4. And 1 of the detective's Kingsport clues. 4, sorry, that's 4 actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. Okay, how many cards does the detective have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent. We draw 2 clue cards for the hunter. The hunter gets an Arkham and Evil Stirs. Okay. First of all, roll the sanity dice. And I lose 1 sanity. Then the next old one awakens, and it is Dagon. Place 1 cultist on each gate location. Okay. cultist, 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 and it's still a gate location even though it's sealed, but we can't put cultist in Innsmouth. You know what, I'm going to say that we do, just to make it a little bit more difficult. Now we have to see where the Shoggoth appears. The Shoggoth appears at the church. Okay, that isn't good. And then we take all of these cards and we shuffle. We have to remember some cards are going to cause the Shoggoth to move. And the Shoggoth is only one space away from a gate, so he'll move to the gate, and then if he moves again, he goes through, and another old one awakens. These go on top of the deck. Okay, the detective's turn. The first thing he's going to do with his 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 5 because of Yig. We're going to discard them and we are going to seal the Arkham gate like that. That was 1 action. 2, he's going to move to the Magician, and 3, 4, he's going to take his 2 Dunwich cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay, so if we can get 1 more Dunwich card and get down to the old mill down here, we can probably seal that gate off. He gets 2 clue cards, he gets a Dunwich and a Kingsport. Fantastic. We know where the detective is headed. The Magician is going to not really got much to do, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to come down to Dunwich. Yes. Oh, we didn't populate the board for the detective. The diner and the woods each get a cultist. Okay. Now, 1. Oh, there's the Shoggoth move symbol. So this Shoggoth is going to move to the nearest open gate, which is in Dunwich. The Magician gets 2 Arkham clue cards, which are pretty useless now. And Theatre gets another, and the Secret Lodge gets another, but Secret Lodge has the Shoggoth movement. The Shoggoth is going to go through the gate, and what happens when a Shoggoth moves through the gate, I believe, is an awakening. Yep. Which means we wake up the next great old one. So, who is the next great old one? It is Shudamel. All players collectively lose 4 sanity tokens. Okay. In a 3-player game. 1, 2, 3, 4. So everyone is on 2 sanity now. Okay. Okay, that was the Magician. We have to get down to Kingsport. So she's going to go 1, 2. She's going to spend an Arkham clue to go to the Theatre for 3, and she's going to use her last action to take out those cultists. We need to start clearing up the board a little bit more. She gets her clue cards. She gets a Dunwich and a Kingsport. Okay, she has 3 Kingsport. She needs 6. The detective has 1. Okay. The church gets 1. And the market gets another 1. Now there are numbers at the bottom here. So at the moment we're only drawing 2 summoning cards. But when the next Great Old One awakens, we'll draw 3. So if there are not enough cultists in the supply, we lose, and at the moment we only have 4 cultists left in the supply, so that is not good. Okay, the detective. 1, 2, 3, 4 coming down here. This is a little bit risky, but what can you do? I knew this would happen. The detective loses a sanity. The next Great Old One awakens, and it is Ithaquah. To walk out of a location with 2 or more cultists, a player must first defeat a cultist at that location. Okay. Now, because we've awakened this one, we have to draw 3 cards. So we get the Great Hall. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second, I got a bit presumptuous there. We get a Shoggoth at the park. Then we shuffle. Take him off the Great Hall. We had 4 in the supply. Then we shuffle. And now we place 3 cultists. 1 at the woods. 1 at the park. Whoops, down there with the Shoggoth. And 1 at the church. There is only 1 cultist left in the supply. That was the detective. The magician. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another Dunwich card for the detective. I forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay. Clue cards. The magician gets an Innsmouth and a Kingsport. Okay. I shouldn't have brought the magician there, but that's okay. Market gets 1. Theatre gets 1. And the diner gets the last one. We now have no cultist in the supply. So, the hunter is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Put 5 cultists back in the supply. Best we can do. It's 2 clues. Please be some Kingsport. Arkham and Dunwich. Useless. 3 Kingsport. He has 1 Kingsport. That makes 4. He has 1 Kingsport. Okay. Now we have to do our 3. So the Secret Lodge. Let's just check if... No, okay. Secret Lodge. We get a cultist. And the Shoggoth is going to move towards the nearest open gate, which is the Dunwich Gate. We get a cultist at the Great Hall. And he's going to move again. And we don't get a cultist at the pawn shop, but the Shoggoth is still going to move down here with the detective. The detective is in a spot with a cultist, so he loses his last sanity and he is now insane. Which means we lose 1 action. We only have 3. You only need 4 cards of the same colour. It costs 2 actions when you participate in a give or take. Okay. Alright, it's the detective's turn. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Dunwich cards. And that is going to seal our third gate in Dunwich. We only have the Kingsport gate open now. He draws 2 clues. Oh, because he sealed the gate when he's insane, he gains all of his sanity back. That was actually pretty cool. So he's back to normal with 4 sanity. Good job, dude. Okay, 2 clues. Both Kingsport clues. Awesome. So he now has 3 Kingsport and a Dunwich. Very nice. But 3 cultists in the supply at the hospital. Doesn't go there. 1 at the train station. And 1 at the old mill. Okay, remember we don't put the purple Innsmouth cultist or Shoggoth because the Elder Sign properly sealed that gate. Okay, so Magician is going to go 1, 2, 3 and 4 to take out that cultist. He gets 2 clues and he gets Innsmouth and an alien carving. The active player may take 3 extra actions. Okay, not bad. We get 1 at the docks, a cultist at the docks, but it's purple. So we don't, but we do get Shoggoth movement. Whoops. The Historic Inn gets a cultist, and we get Shoggoth movement as well. And the Graveyard gets a cultist. Okay. We are going to use our alien carving to give the Hunter 3 extra turns. The Magician does not lose any sanity. Hunter is going to take 7 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we got rid of a few cultists there. Not bad at all. She gets 2 clues. Kingsport. Oh, Evil Stirs. Crap. How many cards does she have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of those 2. I think she had too many cards, but she wasn't doing anything with them, so it didn't really affect. Okay, Evil Stirs. She rolls the dice and doesn't lose any sanity at all. Next Great Old One awakens. We have Yog-Sothoth. Playing relic cards can only be done by the active player. That's fine. A Shoggoth appears at the police station. And then we take our deck and we shuffle it up. And we put that back on top of the summoning deck. That goes out of the game. So that is all 4 of our Evil Stirs cards, so that will not happen again, thankfully. We get Cultist at the Church, a Cultist at the Woods with Shoggoth movement. Which is the quickest way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. So he's going to move to the university. This Shoggoth is going to move in with the Magician. The Magician will lose a sanity for that. And another cultist at the park. Okay. We're not doing too badly, I guess. I'm going to use his first 3 actions to fight the cultists, and his 4th to move to the church. 2 clue cards. We get to Dunwich, giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clues. We get a cultist at the Great Hall, Shoggoth movement. Damn it. He's going to move there. We get a cultist at the market. And we don't get a cultist at the pawn shop, but we do have Shoggoth movement. And he's going to move down to the cafe. Okay. That was the detective. The magician. Going to move 1, 2, 3 and 4 just to kill off some cultists. We are running desperately low on clue cards here. Innsmouth and the silver key. The silver key could have been really helpful. We get a cultist in the graveyard. We don't get a cultist at the hospital. And we get a cultist at the theatre. No Shoggoth movement. Okay, how many clue cards do we have left in that? We have 2, so this is effectively our last turn. I don't think we're going to win this. I think we left it too long, but we'll see. 1, to take out all those cultists. 2, 3, she's in a spot with a Shoggoth, so she loses a sanity. 1 action to take out the Shoggoth. I get to draw a relic. And I get the warded box. Okay. No sanity roll is needed until the end of your next turn. Players do not need sanity rolls. Place this card in front of you as a reminder. That would have been helpful, but what can you do? Too little too late, I'm afraid. Our last 2 clue cards, Kingsport and Arkham. And we get train station, Old Mill, and at the docks, train station, Old Mill. 1 doesn't go to the docks. We do get Shoggoth movement. Taking a sanity from the detective. Okay. The detective's turn. Well, let's go out in style. 3 actions to kill the Shoggoth, getting him a relic card. Seal of Leng. You may choose a revealed Great Old One and cancel its effects for the rest of the game. That would have been handy much earlier. But whatever, let's use it. I hate Yig. Doesn't lose any sanity. And okay, no clue cards to draw. Loss. If a player cannot draw 2 player cards after their actions, that is a loss. We sealed Arkham, Dunwich, and Innsmouth. Kingsport, we just couldn't get the clues where they needed to go. We had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clues in the hands of the players. But there you go. This was Pandemic, Reign of Cthulhu. Just like most Pandemic games, it's a little bit puzzly, and I don't really give myself time to think. But I kind of just act on instinct. A lot of fun, easy to set up, quick to play, well worth your time and effort if you can get it. A lot of people say it's not as good as Pandemic, and I kind of agree with that, but I do love the theme so much that it more than makes up for any shortcomings it has as a board game. I hope you enjoyed this game. Have a great rest of what has been a shitty 2020, and stay tuned for a special New Year's Eve video that should be coming out shortly. Thank you everyone, take care, and I will talk to you soon.